What are some of the things that you've seen that can help children to develop curiosity and to be comfortable with being curious without their parents or their school teachers, let's say, being heavy-handed about it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the most important thing, if I was going to give one bit of advice, and trust me when I say that, not only am I not a parenting expert, you should never trust anyone who says is a parenting expert because none of us have any idea what the hell we're doing.
Uh,
Um, is when you're providing a lesson, teaching them something, a skill, exposing them to something, the way that you do it will matter greatly, not on whether they listened and understand what you said, but when you're not there the next time,
yeah.
will they explore to figure out something on their own, or are they going to wait for someone else to teach them one more factoid about the world? Now, let me give you something concrete about this. I bought one of my twins, Raven, she kind of has my personality. I bought her a microscope 6 months ago. She's never touched it at all. It just came out of the box yesterday for the very first time. And the reason was we found this really weird insect on the floor that kind of had like a scorpion's pincers, but it was really small. And I don't know enough about insects to actually classify this thing. So I was like, do you still have that microscope that you've never touched before? Again, no judgment whatsoever. Now, here's a really interesting situation. A scientist with their kid ready to learn about science. How do you do this at this exact moment? I've got a minute before she gets up the stairs.
And how old is she? About 6 or 7?
They're 6. Yeah,
Yeah.
so she's 6.
Yeah.
And so now I could teach her exactly how to use this microscope about in terms of what the knobs mean. Here's 4 times, here's 10 times the size of a naked eye. Here's 100 times the size of the naked eye. How to move the knobs up and down. Now those things you kind of have to teach them just so they can get a handle on the microscope. But what if so here's the insect. I don't know how to classify it. It's got pincers, but I don't know what it looks like under a microscope. And so as I show her how to put this onto the slide and get it on there, um, I say, I have no idea what this is. There's all this fuzzy stuff on the legs. Like, I didn't expect this. Now, they haven't looked through the microscope yet. And they'll open it up like, yeah, I don't know what that is either. I'm like, what do you think that is? Like, and why didn't we see it before? And they're basically telling me what a microscope does and how it augments the human eye. Now that I've just said, like, I don't know what this is, like, what other insects have those weird prickly things off of its legs like that? And so all of a sudden, like, I wonder if like a grasshopper has it. Now she runs outside and starts looking for another insect. And this now ends up taking about 2 hours of our Sunday of doing this. Now here's the thing. I could have told her, I could have looked up on my iPhone or even had the knowledge myself of exactly what it was we were looking at in terms of these little prickly things on the legs of an insect. But let's say I had that knowledge already, but I intentionally decided not to share and be the expert. I want to say, I just discovered something weird, and you're discovering it with me. Now, what are the odds that Raven is going to next weekend on her own or before then try to find stuff outside to discover that she can't see with her eye on her own, being that we just discovered something on her together versus if we do what almost every teacher does in America is tell her exactly what kind of insect this is, what other insects are in the family, and how it is. The odds are she'll be waiting for the next lesson. And so part of curiosity of it just happened yesterday is the idea of like when I'm with my kids, I let myself, and I'm not playing dumb. It's more of like, I want to have this adventure together of doing this thing. And if you want to teach your kids, if you want to circumvent the dark side of the educational system, which is there's a solution for every problem. And we know that reality is uncertain and unpredictable. If you want to get around that, the best thing you could do is teach your kids how to discover something with you rather than teaching them the actual knowledge itself is so much less important.